Shadomir, the preseason player of the year in the Sun Belt, will come off the bench today. Davis picked up an early foul. As you look at the starters along with Davis, the usual suspects.
Arkansas State actually coming out zone on the out-of-bounds play. Something they did not do the other night. 2-3 zone just on the out-of-bounds play, just to kind of mix things up. I know talking with Coach Bellato, when you have a short turnaround like this, you don't really, there's not as much, it's tougher to do the scouting or the out-of-bounds plays, all that stuff. Come out with a little 2-3 zone. Nice decision there.
A-State shook off a couple of attempts from the Roos on that possession, and the Red Wolves nearly turn it over on their first, but it finds the hands of Desi Sills. Pass batted away and still with Arkansas State. Shot clock winding down. Eaton contested three, and he's hit on the way up and will head to the line as that foul will go against Anderson Kopp, and Red Bulls sort of pulled off the hook there.
Well, I know that's got to be, you would assume, a concern with Coach Donlin with Kansas City. You look at the foul numbers, Kansas City compared to their opponents, they have fouled a lot. One of the other 2 games ago against Idaho State, it was unbelievable the number of fouls compared to Idaho State, but yet they still came out with a win. So obviously something I would assume they need to clean up.
Well, right on your point, last night here against Morehead State, the Roos were outshot at the free throw line 25-7.
It's amazing though that they've still got a solid record and have off to a pretty good year, and still giving up that many fouls and free throws.
That free throw is point number 1371 for Marquise Eaton. So if he hits this one, he is now alone in 9th place in career scoring at Arkansas State.
See Arkansas State picking up here full court after the free throw. Again, something that a lot of obviously strategic here, but you've also got a Kansas City team that just played last night. So obviously fatigue will be a factor as this game goes along as well, especially if you're able to really pressure and wear on them like that.
Anderson Kopp with the miss on the jumper. A-State with the board into the front court. Around the perimeter, the Red Wolves toss it as Sills goes back to his high school teammate Marquise Eaton. Lost the handle on the way up. Here comes KC. Bounce pass into Alec.
Well, Alec is a guy that just enjoyed, again, the one game watching him on film, just enjoyed watching him play. He just really, really battles in there.
So Alec had 17 last night, 14 in the second half of what turned out to be an 8-point loss to Morehead State. This is Marquise Davis for 3, and he knocks it down. Just the second 3 of the year for Marquise Davis, but it puts A-State up by 4.
You would think it was more than that because he had no hesitation to catch and shot. Allen for Kansas City is new to the starting lineup. He and Johnson, number 4, kind of the same style of player. They've been starting Johnson, and Allen gets the start here this afternoon.
Foul on Marquise Eaton, and it'll send Shamari Allen to the free throw line, where he's 8 out of 13, 62% on the season. I mentioned coming into today through just 6 games, opponents had shot 40 more free throws than the Roos had shot. So, that's been nearly 7 a game, more times than the opponents getting to the line. He had hit the first, the second one's on the way and got them both. The A-State lead is 2. Knocked away from Eaton. Quick hands by Nesbitt.
They're really impressed this morning at shoot-around with Kansas City and their ability of all their players talking, and you see it carrying over here. Hey, here would be my early vote for the National 6th Man of the Year.
North Shadomir, the preseason player of the year in the Sun Belt, comes off the bench, and he does qualify today.
He does qualify. Best 6th man in the country.
Bounce pass into Desi Sills. He's cut off, steps through anyway. There's O'Meara immediately on the glass, and he'll head to the line.
These are coaching decisions that there's a couple things you want to get out of this. Obviously, with O'Meara, but it's also a team-type message early in the year. We all know how good O'Meara is, but having him come off the bench, I think sometimes that can be a wake-up call for the rest of the team as well.
So O'Meara is at the line to shoot a couple. The second-year freshman, first ever Division I signee out of Nicaragua. Mike Bellato sends him in off the bench today. It's funny. So if you're an Arkansas State person, you watch this team play, you'd say Norshad O'Meara did not have a very good game Friday night. Finished with 9 points, 8 rebounds.
Yeah, another good night. I think it's also good to see these first couple free throws, seeing those go through. Arkansas State has shot the ball really well from the free throw line and struggled against Moorhead the other night. So have a good feeling at that free throw line again today. Looks like Arkansas State actually back to the 2-3 zone now.
Ruse passed it around the perimeter. Gilliard now in the middle of that zone. Got it to Nesbitt. Shot clock at 2. They lost track of the shot clock, and the Red Wolves forced the turnover. And I know, look, turnovers, when you can get a steal and it gets you out in transition, you can score this and that, but what sort of turnover fires the team up more than a shot clock violation?
Isn't that the truth? It really does. I mean, it's because, as players, you're harped on for every day, how many hours in practice about defense, and then when you see that pay off for a full shot clock like that, it really is see the fun reaction out of the bench.
This Nesbitt-Eaton matchup is an interesting one. As Nesbitt's having to spend more time out on the perimeter than you figure he's used to. Eaton that was Davis on the baseline. No. O'Meara is going to be.
Prior to that, though, baseline drive, post player shallows up the lane like that. It was a nice, it didn't go in, but I still like the shot. Arkansas State going back man now.
Gilliard hounded by Caleb Fields. And Nesbitt back out to it. O'Meara got his hand out of there to avoid a second early foul. Alec wants to go to work on him. He traveled. Turn up.
And I think the great thing about the zone is he's not going to probably want to play zone the whole game, but it's shown that it works. So now you kind of put it in your back pocket a little bit to know that you can come back with it at any time.
The Roos have gone over 2.5 minutes without a bucket, but they reach in and take it away from O'Meara. They'll come in now off the turnover. Kopp wanted to pull the trigger.
Yeah, 5 threes yesterday. He definitely wants to pull the trigger today.
Fields trying to get a steal on Gilliard, but instead he picks up his first personal foul.
They so far have done a really good job on Gilliard. I know talking with their staff today at shoot-around, he got banged up yesterday against Moorhead State, but he can really, really play. He's the type of guard that can go for 30 at any point. Super quick, has a great step-back three, left-handed. So be anxious to see how effective he is today. For Kansas City to be successful, he needs to have a big game.
Alec looking to get rid of it. Gilliard has to come to the basketball. Shot clock getting down deep again. Alec passed it with 2 on the clock. Nesbitt 3 just beats the horn, and O'Meara's alone for the rebound.
Well, there's an example, too. Kansas City had 0 on the offensive boards. They're concerned with Arkansas State speed. Usually, they do a lot of 5-out offense anyway, but they're pretty good at sending 3 guys to the offensive boards. There, they sent 0 to the offensive boards.
So they sent everybody back and still got burned on an open 3.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, if that's the case, you might as well send them at the boards, right?
Gilliard got open and fired a 3, no good. And again, you see KC just darting back to get on defense. Now we have a whistle inside. It's going to go against Arkansas State.
Yeah, Willis.
Or Alan Willis.
Lowered his shoulder a little bit.
That's 5 Arkansas State team fouls.
We'll see how the course of this game goes. But I really think, we've already seen at this point, how effective Wesley and Davis can be on this game defensively. With their length and quickness, they'll switch a lot, and they have the ability still to even guard the perimeter, the guards, and with Kansas City's ability even their post to pop and shoot the three, these guys can be hugely valuable today on the defensive end.
Arkansas State defensively has kept Kansas City off the scoreboard for now 3.5 minutes. Rouge just 1 out of 6 from the field to start the game. They spent a lot of time deep in the shot clock. This time they got it inside to Alec, who turns on the post and finishes.
That's a great slip by Alec on that. Instead of popping to the three, Arkansas State kind of got middle ground, whether they're going to hedge or trap that. He slipped to the basket. Really good play on his part. Score that they needed.
O'Meara hauls it in without a dribble. He turned and couldn't get it to go. Gilliard the rebound. Alec left alone. Kopp got to the baseline. Used the head fake to get a defender in the air. He'll head to the line, as that was going to go on Avery Felts. And one thing, for as well as Arkansas State has played defensively, they have already been called for 6 fouls here in the first half.
Well, and if I tell you how many times I heard Coach Bellato and his staff today in shoot-around talk about Kansas City and their backdoor cuts out of the corner, you can't get caught staring at the ball. And in that case, that's what happened. He got caught staring at the ball and got beat with the backdoor cut.
Anderson Kopp at the free throw line. For just the 8th time this year, he's now 5 out of 8 on the season.
He doesn't get to the free throw line often because he's out beyond the three-point line the majority of the game. Yeah. He's not going to attack very often off the dribble. He's a very good perimeter threat.
He went 5 of 8 from deep last night here on this floor. The Roos are back within 2. O'Meara faces the basket. Now gets it back. Sills will take a 3. And Kopp has the rebound.
Yeah, it didn't look like he really had his feet set. I'm not sure he was sure about that shot. Good shooter. Get those feet set, ready to shoot it on the catch.
It's Sam Martin who's into the lineup. Kansas City fans, I'm sure most of them know or be interested to know, as Alec misses. See Martin slip into the lineup. We told before the game, he's first cousin of Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. That probably carries a lot of weight on that Kansas City campus, doesn't it?
Not only on campus, off campus, yes.
O'Meara, to do with the fact the game wants to be, Mike Bellato's team is 24 hours fresher, and he's actually won somebody at about every dead ball. Try to see if they can help run the Roos out of gas here in this one. That's going to be
of energy. Now all of a sudden, the lead has gone away. You've got your leading scorer and a little bit of foul trouble. How do you respond at this point, and how do you react to what's going on?
Caleb Fields, a lot of contact. Ball will stay with Arkansas State. Antoine Jackson came in for O'Meara during the timeout as Norshad picked up his second foul, and the truth is, if that's not a foul, it probably could have been Kansas City's ball.
Yeah, great out of bounds play, very aggressive. I know that this last year with a lot of teams run out of bounds plays maybe just to get the ball in. Bellato's a very aggressive on his out of bounds plays, looking to score on every one of them. Now they come back with the 2-3 zone again.
And boy, Kansas City is going to again sort of have the bounce go their way here, because that was a pass headed for nobody, and it ends up inside, and they get fouled and head to the free throw line.
Your man does what you want, put the body on the floor, try to get the loose ball, and unfortunately ends up turning into a foul. We talked about Antoine Jackson coming in this game. I think this is an interesting game to watch for him. Offensively, I think he can be very effective. I think this is a challenge. This is a challenging game for him defensively. because all the bigs for Kansas City will set ball screens and pop to shoot threes. He's going to have to really work hard to recover out on the three-point line with these shooters. It's a game that will take somebody like him out of his comfort level on the defensive end.
Marquise Eaton checks back in, replacing Avery Feltz. We're tied at a dozen, 9 minutes in. Fields all the way across the paint. Loose ball finds its way out to Eaton. Fields a little bit slow to get up. Now Jackson lobs it out to Fields. He is up in time to take a three and knock it down.
And we can talk all we want about Jackson on the defensive end. There's nothing better than having a big man that can pass like he does. Great assist by the big man.
Caleb Fields knocks down the three. A fairly quiet night on Friday. He's 4 out of 6 now from deep on the year. On the other end, Bozier gets a bucket to make it a 1-point ball game.
Let's see if they stay in it. They've been effective with the 2-3 zone. That's Kansas City's first score against it outside of the free throw line. So I'll be anxious to see if they switch back to their man now.
Fields. Guarded by Gilliard out on the perimeter. Now Sills across the paint, drops it off for Jackson. He fights it up off the glass and good with a foul. Antoine Jackson with a three-point play opportunity. As the foul goes on Bozier.
I tell you, as the season goes on, of course we all know it's a long season. You never know what can happen with injuries, things like that. But this front line, the rotation with O'Meara and Jackson and Wesley and Davis, it's a really good rotation, these four.
Antoine Jackson, the sophomore out of Las Vegas, knocks down the free throw to complete the three-point play, and A-State's up 4.
Arkansas State going back, man. Arkansas State back to being that good free throw shooting team that they had been up until the other night, 6 for 6 from the foul line.
Kopp got a little daylight and gets a friendly bounce from 3. And there's a foul inside against Arkansas State.
Foul is charged to Marquise Eaton.
So Eaton gets his second. Ninth team foul. So all of a sudden, Kansas City, as you look inside here, Coach, a chance for a 5-point trip. As Eaton just sort of gave Gilliard a little shove and then couldn't believe he got caught. So this is a 1-and-1 after the three-pointer was good. And the front end is also good for Gilliard. Gilliard leading Kansas City in scoring at just under 15 a game. That was only his 5th free throw of the year. Second one's on the way and got them both. So
both teams combined 16 out of 16 from the free throw line. Pretty decent start, huh?
Roos went into the front court down by 4 and go the other end leading by 1. Sills is going to be called for stepping on the baseline. They'll give it back to Kansas City for Arkansas State. That was the 5th turnover of the half. Sills knocks it off of Martin, and he gets the turnover right back. Desi Sills, the coaching staff, just talks about a toughness level he brings to this team, and really, he's just, and it's a compliment. He's just kind of that junkyard dog. He likes to get down in dirt and make plays.
You challenge him and he responds, huh?
He sure does. He did that this time at Arkansas, where he played 98 games before coming home to Jonesboro. It's been a great addition to this experienced Arkansas State roster. Eaton with the pull-up. He knocks it down. Marquise Eaton out near the right elbow hits the jumper, and A-State goes back on top.
That's a great shot by Eaton. But, you know, even from a Kansas City standpoint, you can almost take that as a win, you know, being able to stay in front and force the guarded jumper.
Sills again was hounding Martin, nearly got another steal. Jacob Johnson forced that up in the crowd, and A-State comes out with it. Sills goes reverse, and he'll head to the free throw line. And right now, I can tell you, Coach, you can just sense it. Desi Sills sort of tastes a little blood in the water when he's either guarding or being guarded by Sam Martin.
Well, he's not only, but that again, you credit coaching staff as well, because that's a focal point that they had again in shoot around was trying to get Desi in that short corner area right there where he's able to attack that left hand. That's exactly the way they wanted him. They talked about today in shoot around. So doing a good job of putting him in the right position to let him do his thing.
So Martin will sit down along with Kopp as we see Jack Chapman check in. Chapman, a 6'7" freshman out of Overland Park.
Returns to the floor for the Red Wolves, replacing Antoine Jackson.
Sills with the first miss from the line for either team. And the Roos have the rebound. Gilliard dancing around the three-point line. Has it knocked loose. Here comes Sills. The numbers aren't there. He pushes anyway and goes reverse with the finish.
The last basket was designed by Bellato. There's nothing designed there. That's just Desi doing his thing, right?
Desi Sills doing his thing as he's got 5 points here in this first half.
Watch the pop here.
And there it is.
Yeah, that's anytime they go in that doubles, that stack up top of the ball screen, they're going to pop one of the two back for the three-point. Arkansas State got sucked in too deep on that.
Bozer made them pay from up top, and the lead down to 1. Sills this time cut off. So he comes right back and gets it again. Shot clock goes under 10. Eaton wants to go to work on Nesbitt. Tried to put him on skates. Now Fields deep in the shot clock is going to have to force up a three. And the rebound pulled down by Kansas City. Nesbitt drives in right at the chest of Marquise Davis, and he's still down on the other end. Now the ball's on the floor, and it'll go out of bounds to A-State. Nesbitt still isn't up on the far end, and we've got a media timeout, so we'll check on him when we come back. A-State leads it by 1. Here's another look at that exchange where Nesbitt went down. You see right there, sort of flex with his right leg, and he's still over on the Kansas City bench. You can see that's sort of where he's trying to stretch out over there.
It's obviously a huge loss. He's such a valuable and versatile player for them.
Because you look, 13 and 11 for him last night. You talk about the job he's doing on the inside, yet defensively he's been chasing around Marquise Eaton most of the day. So that is versatile. He's got some of his teammates down there checking on him at the end of the Kansas City bench. And it'll be Arkansas State basketball coming out of the media timeout. They had to throw it all the way into the backcourt for Marquise Eaton. Red Wolves have hit 5 of their last 6 from the floor. After starting just 2 for 6. That pass lucky to find Marquise Davis, Keon Wesley, who turns and scores.
It worked out for the best, but that's not where you want to kill your dribble.
We've seen each team get a couple of bounces go its way here in this first half. As Alec now wants to go to work on Wesley with the left hand, and he knocks down the little jump hook.
2-point basket, Joe Allen.
Eaton over to Malcolm Farrington, who's checked in. Now we're going to have an illegal screen called inside against Keon Wesley. It'll be his second personal.
You got the foul and the brunt of the, the hit, too.
That's the 10th Arkansas State team foul as Anderson Kopp checks back in.
10th team foul charged to the Red Wolves. Anderson Kopp returns to the floor for the Roos.
Chance for the Roos to go back on top this trip down the floor. Alec. Out to Kopp. He puts it in the left hand. Swing it out to Gilliard. Got a defender in the air. Now he'll one dribble, pull up. No. Rebound after it hit the rim twice. Came back to Gilliard. That pass went over people to the baseline for Shamari Allen. Now Gilliard with the left. And Caleb Fields the board and a quick outlet. Here's a lob for Marquise Davis. Knocked away. Good play there by Shamari Allen. And Kansas City comes away with it. And on the other end, getting the finish is Jacob Johnson.
Huge exchange. You go from Arkansas State almost to a dunk at one end. Turns into a layup by Kansas City at the other end.
Puts the Roos back up one. Lob on the backside. Marquise Davis catches, finishes in one move, and draws the foul.
What a great pass by Fields.
So Caleb Fields throws that lob as he saw Davis open on the backside. Alec will be called his second personal. 6th team foul against Kansas City. And one opportunity coming up for Marquise Davis. And his shot's on the way and short. So it's a 1-point Arkansas State lead. Top out to Chapman between the circles. Bozer's already hit one. Now he puts it on the floor, gets all the way to the bucket and draws the foul.
Well, we talked about that, earlier, and this is where with Jackson, the challenge down on this end, he's going to have to defend all over the floor, not just in the paint, but he's going to have to defend. And he did the right thing out there. He took the three away from Boser. You really need your teammates maybe to help out a little bit more there, knowing that there's a disadvantage. Teammates help out on the drive there since there's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage.
First miss of the day for Kansas City at the line. Roos had hit their first 10. Sort of reversed that trend. Well, I'll say reversed it. They've taken 2 more, now 3 more free throws than Arkansas State, as he missed them both. At least they've sort of counterbalanced that trend of the opponent going to the line so much more than they had. Fields over for Farrington. Kopp did a good job of taking the 3 away from him. Now Sills puts it on the floor, had it knocked loose, gets it back. Farrington now is all alone, and he knocked it down.
One job. Just be available for the 3-point shot. He did his job. Great shot.
Farrington hits his 6th 3 of the year. All of his field goals have been from deep. And A-State leads it by 4. Gilliard goes opposite the screen. Jackson had left Boser. Now he's going to get a chance to take the 3. No. Marquise Davis the rebound. Fields goes far wing for Sills. He catches and knocks down. Allen goes baseline. Now Kopp open in the corner and he knocks it down.
Yeah, that's a classic case of they turn down the wide open layup to get a 3. That's obviously their style.
Stops the 8-0 run, trims the A-State lead to 4. Top 2 for 2 from deep today. Lob it to Jackson. Got a defender in the air and whistling a late foul. Which would probably be more accurate to say late whistle and a foul as opposed to a whistle and a late foul. I think the foul was there the whole time.
Really good footwork by Jackson to be able to catch that and keep his balance.
Second on Bozer, 7th team foul, and Antoine Jackson will head to the line.
You can tell from Coach Donlan's reaction and even just watching him shoot around today is there is no tolerance for not talking and being in the right spot defensively, and that was a case where the help side didn't get there, and you could see he wasn't obviously very happy about it. So impressed by their communication today. It was in practice, all 5 players out there talking and communicating to one another. You know, all teams aspire to do that, but their team is really good at it.
Jackson 3 for 3 at the line here in this first half. It's a 6-point Arkansas State advantage as we roll near the 2-minute mark. Cobb has to skip it over, extra pass from Gilliard. And then as the horn sounds, Timothy Barnes got a layup.
Arkansas State rotated so well on that possession of on everybody until the very last one. The last help didn't get there, but made all the right rotations right to the very last point.
Jackson this time is going to be called for an offensive foul. So Jackson doesn't believe it. Mike Mulatto will say you gave my guy a foul because he's too strong, but that's a foul right there.
It's a foul. You know, and all it was he just simply lowered his shoulder just a little bit. You know, and all that does is give the official the easy answer there on the call. If he stays a little bit more upright, you might get an off, or you might get a block instead.
Returning to the floor for the Red Wolves.
Keon Wesley will check in for Jackson. He has 2 fouls.
He replaces Antoine Jackson.
And I don't think this is a bad trade-off, again, with the last minute 30 here. You know, you've got the lead. You need stops. I still think Davis and Wesley is a great tandem out here defensively because of their length and quickness to recover on the Kansas City shooters. You know, Boster's actually gotten loose a couple other times and hadn't shot it.
This time he wants to try to put it at Wesley, who stood his ground. He's going to stay with Kansas City, and Bozer might have gotten away with kind of clearing the way. That's
exactly right. It's the same thing. If Wesley falls there, he gets the offensive foul because there was clearly a push-off.
9 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Arkansas State goes back 2-3 zone again on the out-of-bounds play.
What a find by Gilliard. Bozer unable to finish, but he basically had to throw that through the legs of a defender, and now Bozer's going to be called for a foul as he undercuts Keon Wesley. They help each other up, pat on the head, and we'll walk to the other end for should be the 1-and-1.
This is the second time this game, one for each team, where a player gets penalized for hustling for a loose ball. Another case where a guy's just diving for a loose ball on the floor and undercuts Wesley, he gets a foul.
And that's the 3rd on Bozer, so he'll sit down for these final 66 seconds of the half. And Keon Wesley will head to the free throw line. First trip to the line for Wesley today. He's a 56% shooter on the season. Coming up at the half, you'll hear from A-State's 2 former Golden Hurricanes of Jonesboro High School, Marquise Eaton and Desi Sills. We'll have the first half stats, highlights, and more coming up in a minute and 6 seconds. First free throw front into the 1-and-1, up and good for Wesley.
How about the job both these teams are doing at the free throw line? 20 out of 24 combined.
Each team right up until Wesley shoots it, 10 out of 12. Red Wolves now 11 out of 13. So Avery Phelps will check back in here.
Yeah, again, Arkansas State, they're going defensive. You've got basically 4 guards on the floor. right now with with Davis as the only non-guard. Again, just trying to certainly match up with the shooters.
Kopp misses, Davis the board. Avery Phelps flying to the three-point line. Now Sills wants to go to work, got to step on Barnes, who knocks him to the deck, and Desi Sills will head back to the line. Sills took a hard spill, but he bounces right up, and he'll head to the stripe.
Yeah, there are some players out there that, you can scouting report all you want. I can assure you Kansas City scouting report knows that Sills is going left. I'm sure they've harped on it and harped on it. He's still going left. He's still getting by you with the left. There's just some players that it just, you can know what they're doing, but they're still going to beat you at what they do. And he's gotten to the rim several times going left.
He'll even tell you, his name at one point on social media was Lucky Lefty. He's not trying to hide the fact.
You're throwing it out there on social media. You're going that direction. So guard me if you can. And honestly, it's not a guardable one-on-one situation anyway. You've got to guard team defense and having people up there.
And Kopp just got called for the foul. He does.
There you go. We've still got the 4 guards in the lineup around Davis.
So again, A-State a chance to take the last shot as Sills misses both free throws. Nesbitt the board. His desperation heave will come up short. And that's how the first. So here comes Kansas City, its first offensive possession. They'll hand off and get it and go to the bucket for Shamari Allen.
I think both teams needed to get both those possessions out of the way defensively because neither of those would be considered good defensive possessions. Communications errors on both teams. It paid, Arkansas State was able to make Kansas City pay for it.
Marquise Davis, long 2 is up and good. So Mike Mulatto keeps Davis out there to start the second half. Keon Wesley on the bench to get the final 20 minutes underway. Nesbitt, it's very good to see him back out there, but he misses the jumper. It's going to be a welcome sight for Kansas City fans as Nesbitt went down in the first half, was sitting down on the end of the bench, and you don't ever know for sure what's going on, but you wonder when teammates are going over and patting you on the back. But good to see Nesbitt back out there as Allen commits the foul against Marquise Eaton. Foul called on the floor. O'Meara back to Sills, who goes baseline. Not a lot of good spacing on this possession for Arkansas State. As Eaton got to the bucket anyway and got it to go. You saw Eaton that time, he just kind of went back and said, give it here and let's reset this thing.
Yeah, I think, again, it seemed like a quiet first half for Eaton, but he's already been more aggressive this half off the dribble.
Gilliard got Fields in the air. Davis came and helped, but Kansas City keeps possession. Alec got a shot up he was bound and determined to against O'Meara.
He's so good going in. He can go with both hands.
Fields leaves his feet, kicks it to Desi Sills, who knocks down the 3 from the left wing. And Kansas City wants to talk it over as Billy Donlin grabs a timeout. We will step aside with him. Just over 2 minutes gone by in the second half, and Arkansas State has the day's first double-digit lead. Well, we had talked about the stuff Desi Sills had done, especially on the defensive end. He's got 13 points, but what's especially good for Arkansas State fans is that 2 for 3 from the line. He was just 1 for his first 17 from the year coming into today.
Yeah, there's no question. We talked about earlier is that, you can put on the scouting report, he's going to drive it, he's going to drive it, he's going to drive it left, and he's still able to get there. If he's able to shoot it well from the 3, that even makes him more dangerous.
Red Wolves have scored the last 7. They've opened up a 12-point lead. Alec to Nesbitt, kniving down the paint, cut off by O'Meara. Now Nesbitt wants it back. Little hook over O'Meara, and Norshad snags the rebound.
A lot more, Arkansas State a lot more aggressive on the handling of their ball screens there. Almost a little bit of even a trap for a little bit, chasing them off at the three-point line.
Sills, one dribble, leans into Nesbitt, and it's out of bounds. Will stay with Arkansas State.
Yeah, we talked about earlier that, that's a, again, where Sills is able to catch the ball over in that kind of short corner area on that area of the floor. That's a spot Bellato wanted to get him. He's able to he spent a lot of time there today. Be really aggressive with that left hand on that side of the floor.
Fields comes back to the inbound. Shot clock at 7 as Eaton. Got Martin on him, got all the way to the bucket, no. And the rebound tapped back to Jacob Johnson.
Again, O'Meara being really aggressive on that ball screen again, giving a real hard hedge there, chasing them away from the three-point line.
Alec forced to give it up. Martin with 5 on the clock, goes into a crowd, had it knocked away, and Marquise Davis ends up with it. Here comes A-State off the turnover. Sills to O'Meara. Step on the baseline, and Norshad O'Meara gets it to go.
That's a move for a women's basketball coach can appreciate. The step through, that's not a move you see a lot in men's basketball, you normally use their athleticism. That's a move you see all the time in women's basketball. Great move by Norshad.
And there's Fields with a steal. Poisser gets the basketball. 6'1" freshman out of Germany. Martin has it as the Roos trying to stop an 11-0 Arkansas State run. They've gone over 4 minutes without scoring since getting the first bucket of the half, and that stops there on the nice finish by Alec.
Good move. It's that he's really good, skilled, being able to go up with either hand there.
Alec's got 8 points, 4 rebounds on 4 of 6 shooting from the floor. A-State's got it in the front court.
They are staying in the zone.
Skip pass over to Fields. Now in the corner, Eaton. Got inside, gave it to Sills along the baseline. And Desi's going to get fouled after the shot. So that looks like it may be on Nesbitt. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Marvin Nesbitt with his first personal foul, and as the official was looking back one more time for the numbers, Nesbitt threw his own number, flashed 33 at him, helping him out.
Might as well get it out of the way, right? You're busted. Get it out of the way.
I've never seen anybody call it in on themselves. You see you raise your hand every once in a while. He made sure the guy knew his number. So Sills at the line. We shot it better from the three-point line today, and he's 3 out of 7 from the free throw line. Now 4 out of 8.
You sense with Arkansas State that they're, now just really going for it with the pressure and trying to really wear on. Again, Kansas City played late last night. Some tired legs.
Getting ahead of the press for the layup is Jacob Johnson.
Good balance to be able to finish that without traveling. Even he's hobbled a little bit right now as well.
O'Meara in the middle of that screen, gave it to Sills, cut into the basket, and he got the roll. He used O'Meara in the middle of that zone and turned him into a passer.
So far, that's three possessions for Arkansas State against the zone, and they've put on an offensive clinic against it.
And there's a little baseline jumper knocked down by Poisser. His first bucket, and the Arkansas State lead is 13.
Yeah, obviously back man by Kansas City.
Arkansas State 6 out of 9 from the floor in the second half. We have an offensive foul called against Marquise Davis. As give that one to Sam Martin, who stood there and got the contact. There's Keon Wesley with the foul. Marquise Davis is checking in for him. First team foul against Arkansas State, who right now is shooting 65.5% from the floor for the ball game.
Yeah, they still to this point, they only have one offensive rebound, which in a lot of cases you'd be disappointed in, but the way they're shooting it, there aren't many opportunities.
Johnson got his own miss. Needs rid of it. Found Alec. Now Poyser for three. Wide right, and it'll belong to Arkansas State. Poyser appeared in just his third game. He played 18 minutes on the year coming into the afternoon. Arkansas State basketball. Talked about that stretch where Kansas City went zone. Red Wolves have hit 6 of their last 8 and make it 7 of 9.
You know, I didn't say it quick enough, but that's the third time they've used him on that ball screen, and he slipped. The last time he was wide open too, and they didn't see him with it, and that time they did.
So O'Meara now with 8 points. After limited action in the first half, that shot comes up short for Alec. Here comes Arkansas State. Farrington, corner three. No. And the rebound goes to Kansas City as Nesbitt pulls down his third board. Martin gave it up in the corner. Now Alec on the block. Goes across the paint and hits that hook again. He can do that with either hand.
Either hand. Last time down he hit it with the left hand hook, and now he comes back with the right hand. His footwork is really good for a big guy. You don't mean this, he doesn't look like a real athlete, but he's so good. He doesn't travel. His footwork is really good. Same thing again. There you go. There's slip there. They stayed with it that time. He didn't hedge out on that one. He stayed with O'Meara on the ball screen. Same thing again.
Eaton slipped but kept his dribble alive. Now O'Meara. And well, Arkansas State's going to get helped out there by a whistle and a foul. I think the scouting report is to take that away from him.
That's right.
And I haven't seen him pass up an open one either. He's number 2 up on the right of your screen outside the three-point line, looking for a chance to pull the trigger. Jackson gets it to him. This time he does pass up the three, puts it on the floor.
Good decision, though. Good decision.
Alec got the ball and then turned it over to Feltz. Arkansas State wants to set up a possession as they've now gone just over 2 minutes without scoring after shooting such a high clip. They've missed their last 4 shots. Farrington goes reversing, gets it to go. Another guy who wanted to chase off the three-point line, and he took a baseline.
That's a good drive on his part. Yeah, if they're going to chase him off, he's got to be able to finish off the dribble when he does.
Martin to Alec. Now he was looking inside for Nesbitt. We're going to have a whistle and a foul on Marquise Davis. It'll be his second. Just the second team foul on Arkansas State.
It's hard to believe Nesbitt had double-double last night, and he hadn't scored today. Of course, I know he missed part of the first half and he injured himself.
There's Feltz sticking with it after getting the miss and getting A-State another possession. Fields out causing trouble defensively. It'll go out of bounds and stay with the Roos.
That was I think that's the first out-of-bounds play by Kansas City that Arkansas State actually stayed man. As opposed to zone. They were going zone on those earlier in the game.
Alec This offense has been running through him, especially in this second half. Martin gets it to Nesbitt, and he gets it turning away from the bucket off the glass and good.
Finally gets on the scoreboard.
13-point Arkansas State leads. We go just past the midway point here in the second half. It's the third and final game of the E-Racism Invitational. Each of these two teams the previous 2 days had a matchup with Morehead State, and Arkansas State's going to get called for an illegal screen. It's going to go on Antoine Jackson. It'll be his third. So Morehead State impressive in its weekend in Jonesboro. Knocked off the host team by 23. Defeated Kansas City by 8 last night. Well, Morehead's going to be a problem for teams when they get in OVC play.
Yeah, I know they were picked second in the OVC, but Belmont, I think, was picked first. But that's a really, really good team. I think they'll have a shot at winning that league.
Desi Sills is back in and immediately starts hounding Sam Martin, which it feels like he's done most of the day. Nesbitt in a crowd. Marquise Eaton there for the rebound. Trying to force that one into O'Meara. Poyser came up with it and dribbled it on the baseline. So A-State turns it over, but gets it back here with 9:18 to go, as we're going to see back into the lineup Jack Chapman.
Here comes the high ball screen. Let's see if they're staying with him now. So Eaton, the guards have to look to be a little bit more aggressive, turning the corner on that now.
And off the feed from Desi Sills, Marquise Eaton knocks down the corner three. Or Marquise Davis, excuse me, with that corner three. He's in double figures with 10. Davis drew the start today, and he has paid Mike Blotto back for that decision.
Well, and I think, and we've talked about before, I think with he and Wesley, I think they've been a really valuable duo on the defensive end too, because of their length. And again, they can guard at any position. They switch a lot with him and Wesley, and you'll oftentimes see them getting switched on the guards, and they're very capable of even defending the guards out here.
Fields couldn't get the reverse to go. Here comes Allen the other way for Kansas City. Nesbitt couldn't get the three to go, and Marquise Davis has his fourth rebound to go along with 10 points. Rolling near the 8-minute mark, Arkansas State trying to build on a 14-point lead. Fields with the shot clock winding down. Goes to the left hand, got all the way to the bucket, and Caleb Fields scores late in the shot clock, his 5th point of the afternoon. Poyser had that pass find the target as Jack Chapman scores.
Yeah, that's that double ball screen at the top of the key, and they had one pop and the one roll to the basket. They stayed with the shooter and didn't stay with the one roll into the basket.
Sills floater, no. O'Meara came flying in trying to keep it alive as the board.
No, and I think it's probably safe to say that Gilliard's done for the day as well. You kind of just move on to the next game with him. He's too valuable. Obviously, he's not himself. He wasn't the second half yesterday and hadn't appeared to be today. He's too good. They've got to have him throughout the remainder of the season.
He was basically going to be a game time decision coming into today. A-State turns it over as here's Chapman, blocked by Desi Sills, but it'll stay with the Roos. Chapman again, no. Tapped away from O'Meara. Chapman got it back, and it's into the hands of Norshad O'Meara. And now we got a flop warning.
A flop warning. A flop warning. We had this discussion. This was not a women's basketball rule. I had to be educated on it today. If you get 2 of them, it's a technical.
Well, there's one of them.
And the reason the conversation came up was in the Idaho State-Kansas City game, there were 3 technicals called because of that.
6 minutes to play. Arkansas State working with the 14-point advantage.
Which I get it and I like it, although I don't know that it necessarily applied to that last one. I think sometimes when you get hit, you're going to fall. I don't think it always makes it and turns it into a flop. I think that was a legit fall on a hard hit.
My goodness, Alec had played good defense on Northside O'Meara, and he just scored anyway.
Here's that double ball screen up top. You got one pop, one roll. Arkansas State handles it well that time.
O'Meara now in double figures with 10. Third A-State player to get there. Jackson's one behind him at 9.
Arkansas State's actually gone into zone again.
Martin, deep three into the hands of O'Meara. Bounce pass for Sills. Lob, and Wesley wasn't ready, and then Desi Sills is going to pick up the offensive foul. Second on Desi, the 6th A-State team foul.
Foul charged to Desi Sills, his third personal. 16 foul charged to the Red Wolves.
You see he's going to get his left index finger taped up. Gives Mike Bellato a chance to work an official a little bit.
Yeah, he's talking about the flop as well. I mean, I get it. I think we all, you know, you should be penalized for flopping, but that's a fine line because again, I don't think that was a flop. I think it was a legit hit.
Ruza missed their last 4 shots. Lead sort of held right here in this 13-14 neighborhood for a bit. Sills got a steal from Poyser. Shot off the glass, and actually will call a foul before the shot on Justus Poyser. His second. As Marquise Eaton will bring it in. Fields got a step on Barnes, and it's going to be a whistle and a foul on Timothy Barnes, his third, still just the 6th. So no free throws coming up, but everybody's in the bonus from here on out. Eaton got it in play. And Fields comes back to the ball, got through defenders and couldn't get it to go. Chapman snags the board. Been now over 3 minutes since Kansas City has scored, and it'll be a little bit longer as that pass went into the hands of Caleb Fields. Willis comes out to the basketball. Now took it right back from Wesley. Eaton wants it late in the clock as he's guarded by Poyser. Went through the double team, drops it underneath to Keon Wesley. No, Wesley finally convinced Northside O'Meara they were on the same side, but the shot clock sounded. Wesley's shot didn't hit the rim. 13 of 17 at the line in the first half, just 1 for 3 here in the second. Alec has it against O'Meara. Good job by O'Meara, just standing his ground, and Alec scored anyway.
That footwork, he pushes that 3 second call to the very limit, doesn't he? He gets in that lane and pivots 4 times, and but he keeps that pivot foot down. He does a great job with his footwork and then finishes with either hand.
He's got 12 points, 8 boards on 6 of 9 shooting. The A-State lead is again 14. Shot clock winding down. And that's when Eaton wants it in his hands. Marquise to his right, all the way to the glass, wouldn't go. Wesley keeps it alive, and it will belong to Kansas City. That one did everything but go in for Marquise Eaton. I really wonder where he had it that deep in the shot clock, how he got that close to the basket.
He's with Eaton and Fields and Desi. such strong guards off the dribble. It's very impressive to watch them.
Sam Martin into the front court. He's had to play some extra minutes today with Gilliard being a little bit limited. Sills got the rebound, which is his third of the day, to go along with 16 points, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Arkansas State, over these last couple of minutes, has just wanted the clock running. Every shot they've taken has been very deep in the shot clock. And this one will be too, as it's at 5. Eaton fires it into Wesley. No. But again, they took all 30 seconds. And then Kansas City, pushing the other way, turns it over. For the 13th time on the day, we're going to see Marquise Davis check back in as Wesley will sit down. So Davis has been good today in drawing the start. 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting. He's grabbed 4 rebounds. He's out there in these final couple of minutes.
I know I've already talked about it enough, but I'm a big fan of Davis and Wesley, both, again, on what they've done on the offensive end, but just how active they are on the defensive end. Again, they can guard basically any position, and there's such a luxury when they're able to switch on screens, and especially a team like Kansas City that shoots it as well as they do from 3. I think they've done a really good job today.
Christian Willis didn't get the shot to go as the clock was again winding down. Here's Martin, blocked by Marquise Eaton. Norshad Omier saves it in. Eaton was going to throw it underhanded ahead to Sills. It's knocked away. Martin steps to the 3-point line and knocks it down. Sam Martin closes the gap to 11, but time running out on the Roos. Alec didn't know who was supposed to be guarding Marquise Eaton. He just knew it wasn't him. And he was looking around.
He was actually.
Shot clock winding down. Sills lobbed it to Omier, but Alec was there to knock it away. Martin took it all the way, got the reverse, but it rolled off the rim. And he wanted to go right at Norshad Omier. Matter of fact, I think Omier took a little shot in the mouth. So you see about a 6-second difference between the clocks. As Marquise Eaton just dribbling out. I mean, A-State's only hit one of its last 7 shots, but really the Red Wolves hadn't been trying to score as much as they were milking clock, and even late in the clock there, Desi Sills got to the bucket for the likely final basket of the day from Arkansas State's standpoint.